We are live. Welcome, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across the country. It is our first, actually, second Wine Wednesday of the year. And today we're going to talk about the Silva. We're going to talk about our in-person experience, and also let's chat a little bit about my top 10 wine of the year that we revealed last week at this very same time. So yeah, my top 10 is 1 week old, and let's recap for people who missed that reveal a week ago. But yeah, hope everyone is doing well. Happy New Year to everyone across the country. I hope that everyone had a good Christmas holiday, because you know what? It's done. Yes, it's finally done. We're over it. And I tasted my first wine tonight, this afternoon. I haven't tasted wine in 2 or 3 days, I believe. So post January 1st or December 31st, where we had a few great bottles. Took a little break of tasting. Now my palate is absolutely fresh and ready to rock. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the Silva lineup that we're gonna crack open next week with our private Zoom with Richard De Silva. So it is really exciting. And Richard is really excited as well. So yeah, the 2022 Cap Franc, 2023 Chenin Blanc, and 2023 Pinot Noir. So these three bottles are going to be open next week with Richard. And we're going to also talk about with him maybe three bottles of the 2019 vintage that we kind of wanted to revisit, and we want to talk specifically about that vintage as well, because it's one of the sleeper vintage that we really, really like. So it's going to be exciting. Wanda, welcome. Happy New Year to you as well. So if you're tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in and what's in your glass, because right now we have the Silva Vineyard 2023 Chenin Blanc. That's what's in our glass right now.
One.
And it is
Ooh, that's nice.
absolutely delicious. I was just mentioning here that we haven't tasted wine in 4 or 5 days now.
Jeez.
It's yeah,
Not
I
on
know,
purpose.
right? I know,
I
and
know,
you
not on
haven't
purpose.
really tasted either because you were sick, and
Yeah.
I mean, you had a few sip here and there on New Year's Eve, but you've been
Mhm.
sick for a little bit, and now you're absolutely rocking. So my palate is just so fresh, and
Ready for it.
and the flavors in that Chenin Blanc
Yes.
absolutely explode. Oh my lord! It's really, really cool how fresh, how crisp, how zingy this Chenin Blanc is. So really exciting. We have that awesome lineup, and Mira, I believe that we're going to talk about our in-person experience as well.
Betcha.
And so you're just gathering some awesome pictures of our previous touring experience that we're going to talk a little bit later on. And
Yeah.
yeah, some recap. So how would you like to do that? Do you want me to start with the De Silva while you gather, why while you gather all of these
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us
pictures?
what you're tasting there. Hello, Tracy and Jim. Hey, guys. Nice to see you, Wanda. So great to see everyone after we had so many nice evenings tasting Canadian wines with you guys. And then, yeah, a little bit of withdrawal the last week, like Carl said. Not on purpose, just, things got busy. So,
I know, right? Like, it feels like we didn't have any friends for a few nights. It was more like, holy smokes, me and Mira taking a little break in a
there you
sense.
go.
But yeah, oh, my palate
Jess
is
and
so
Stacy
fresh.
have Kern and Co. Hank Vineyard Fumé Blanc in their glass, and we have a Chenin Blanc, right?
Chenin Blanc de Silva, the 2023. We offered our wine earlier this in 2025 as a pre-release. No one had access to that wine for a long time.
Oh,
So
that's
a few of our members had that wine already, but
mm,
we have decided, because our tasting crew, the tasting Thursday crew, as new people in there. So I wanted to throw a Chenin Blanc because it's really, really what Richard do very special in terms of white wine. So to
It's
me,
the
I
De
wanted,
Silva. You can call it the De Silva clone. I mean, it's a very
yeah,
special clone of
exactly,
Chenin Blanc. I think it's
exactly,
probably the
right.
best Chenin Blanc in the country for sure.
Oh, that's no doubt about it. I know that um, I have a blank. That one in West Kelowna. Oh,
There's
there's a
another
winery in
winery that
West.
does
Eh?
Chenin Blanc.
Yeah,
Another
yeah,
winery
yeah,
that
yeah,
does
yeah,
Chenin
yeah,
Blanc.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh man, I always lose. Anyway, so there's a few wineries who does a good Chenin Blanc, but I don't think that no one does it like Richard de Silva, and he did it in some different expression over the years. Some years are a little bit more rounded, more bold, or more textural. Some years are more linear, zingy, and directional. And that's what the 23 is. 23 is really pinpoint, filled with energy and tension, high acid. But holy smoky, there's that little, I would say, lemon meringue, which shows up at the end, a great, great floral component. But what sticks out to me on the palate, and we're going to talk about it a lot next week on the 15 when we meet with Richard, but is that chalkiness on the finish. Quail's Gate, thank you, Jeff. Holy smoke, that must be Stacy. Uh, but yes, Quail's Gate, that's exactly what I was looking for. Quail's Gate Chenin Blanc, it's another one who are doing a top notch Chenin Blanc. But yeah, the chalkiness on the finish of that Chenin Blanc. I know that when making Chenin Blanc with high acid, that's typically one of the component that you're looking for. So this is part of the varietal typicity, but this one is just so predominant. I love that finish. It makes it very complex. Mira, what do you think? Did you had a chance to have a
Oh
sip
yeah,
of
I
that
definitely had a
beautiful
sip. It was
Chenin Blanc?
lovely.
Yeah,
It is.
right.
It
That
is really nice.
citrusy Meyer lemon has been like key lime, salty lime.
It's
Um,
amazing.
eh?
It's amazing. I've always loved it. I think we've followed the De Silva Chenin Blanc for a good 4 vintages now.
Yeah, exactly.
And this one that we're going to be tasting with you guys who ordered the tasting pack and the winemaker next Thursday. This one is the last vintage for a while, right? Because of the vine damage in 2024 that so many BC wineries encountered, we won't see it, but it's coming back. Like it's a very
Oh
special sort
yeah,
of De
he
Silva
saved a
steak.
little part. I knew that and we're gonna talk about it and a lot
Mm,
on
good.
next Thursday. Richard's gonna give us an update on his vineyard. Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the Chenin Blanc was ripped out of the vineyard. He kept the block, but obviously 2024, nothing came out in 2024, so we're gonna have a gap there for sure. But the good news is, I know I had a scoop from someone inside the De Silva winery that that there was more Chenin Blanc planted on the De Silva Vineyard holding, and that there's going to be more Chenin Blanc in different form, in different style. I'm hearing that there might be some Chenin Blanc sparkling coming out at some point too. So
That
this
would
is
be very exciting.
absolutely. So this is very, very exciting. I'm a big fan of Chenin Blanc for a reason that you can make Chenin sweet, Chenin sparkling, Chenin dry. Chenin is an amazing varietal that you can make in any style possible, and it's due of its high acidity. But that beautiful, sometimes you can extract a little bit more tropical fruit out of it, or some orchard fruit. And yeah, this 2023, super exuberant, super vibrant, super energetic. I gave it a 92 plus points when I tasted it almost a year ago now. Definitely standing behind that number. And I don't know, it might be a little bit more, but no, 92 plus is a very fair score. Wine at $35. So that's what we're going to taste first with Richard in a week in the daytime. So I know that, Mira, we had the chance to taste Chenin Blanc grape alongside Chenin Blanc wine one time at the Silva. We did that with Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chenin Blanc, and that was really, really, really cool. And feeling the acidity of that grape, the natural acidity when you bite into a grape of Chenin Blanc, you understand when you get a wine like that after you taste the grape. Really cool. So yeah, so it's one of the six wines that we're gonna, well, maybe seven and maybe a little bit more, six, seven, be a little bit more next Thursday, but definitely. So the winemaker selection was with that Chenin Blanc, and the other two are two wines that have not been released yet: the 2022 Cap Franc and the 2023 Pinot Noir. That 2023 Pinot will not be released for another probably 6 months, maybe a year. So we have that in very, very premiere in the country. So really exciting. So I'm gonna give it a try for the very first time. I tasted that wine in tank and in barrel. So that is pretty cool. And it's typical fashion Pinot Noir de Silva in the sense that it's bold. It's a big style Pinot Noir. There's some oak in there, some blue fruit, a little bit of plum on the nose, chocolate. Lots of chocolate, actually.
Mm.
I love that.
There's Daryl. He showed up as we started talking about the Pinot Noir. Like his Pinot Noir vibes went off. Mm.
Yeah, bold and rich.
That's the De Silva style for Pinot Noir, isn't it?
It is a De Silva. Right now, the oak is right there, right in the middle. There's some spice. Like I said, like even on the nose, there's that chocolate. The chocolate's on the palate as well. A little bit of rose petal, but comes out a little bit more like dry roses. But the fruits, it's crushed raspberry. It's blueberry, more of a blueberry jam, blueberry compote. What do we look at here for alcohol? We're at 13.2, so very well. Yeah, I didn't feel any excess of alcohol, but it's definitely big mouthfeel, big mid palate, maraschino cherry. Maybe a hint of black cherry as well. If you look at it, I mean, this is nothing like Thomas Batchelder type of Pinot or Clausen Chase type of Pinot. Bolder. Oh, that's delicious. I really like that. You know what? There's also some bright red fruit coming out, like almost like a hint of cranberry was bringing the acid back after the mid palate. A little bit backward at that stage, I would say the acid doesn't kick in at the beginning, more kick in more on the back end. But that's a good thing in the sense that my mouth starts watering at the right time. So I like that. I really, really like that.
Very nice. Daryl's teasing that with the chocolate and Pinot, did Mira pour you Merlot?
Yeah, I know. I kind of, yeah. It's typical the Silva Daryl though. You got two bottles of that in the box on its way
instead of the Cab Franc.
That's it. That's it. I put two bottles of that instead of the Cap Franc.
You always say that Pinot goes well with turkey, and Carl made turkey tonight. not like a big turkey at the grocery store. They have these like turkey roast things.
No, it's a boneless turkey breast, and
Mm.
yeah, it was previously frozen, probably from leftover
Yeah,
from Christmas,
Christmas.
but beautiful. And I threw that in our brand new Dutch oven,
Hmm.
and wow, did you try it? Did you try
Mm.
the turkey with the
I'm having it right now. Let's see.
yeah, yeah, it's probably top notch. And I put a little
Mm.
rub. I did a little bourbon and the sweet
Hmm.
rub with it.
Oh yeah, yeah, that goes nice, real nice.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
love
I
it.
this Pinot is definitely a 92 points for me. Like, and this, I mean, obviously it's 2023. It's Richard wine, so that's gonna be like down the road. Like this wine will start to me hitting its prime probably in 5 years. This is a very young
Really?
wine. That's yeah, that's wine that's not hit the market. It won't hit the market for another
Huh.
year. So, but it's good now. I tell people all the time, right? I like my wine nervy. I like my wine in their youth. I like my wine when they're filled with energy. And this is that to the T. And I really, really like that. This is a blend also from the Blending Hill. So is whole like Richard's house. He has a vineyard at the house where the Millers stayed. The Millers were the first one to stay at the Silva bed and breakfast. So which
Yeah.
is really really cool.
I don't think it's a
And
bed and breakfast. I think it's just an Airbnb. But yeah.
or the vineyard house. Let's call it the
Mm.
vineyard house.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
And yeah, so this half of the fruits were harvested at the Blenheim Hill vineyard, so which is the De Silva's house, and the other half is from the Hidden Hollow vineyard, so the one at the winery. So it's a blend of 50-50.
There you go.
18 months in barrel, 50% French, 50% Hungarian. And that's that typical toasted barrel that Richard liked to use. Give some oomph, give some a little bit of a punch. Early stage, but the oak does not, like, it does not. I mean, it's there. It's definitely there. I like it. I smell it. I taste it. But it's not offensive at any point. So, yeah. Awesome, awesome 2023 Pinot Noir. And we are the very first one to have it.
It's exciting.
I like how the plum comes a mix with the red fruit and a little bit of blue fruit. Lots of layers. Very, very
Mm.
like well layered Pinot. I just can't see that in 5 years. Whew, that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, the third wine of that winemaker pack that we called it, that little discovery pre-release pack. It's the Cabernet Franc. Moving into, and that's something that Richard is going to talk at large during the Zoom. It's the new direction of the Silva. When I say new direction, it's not a complete 100 and 180 degrees. I mean, it's the continuity, but with more focus on specific varietals. And Cap Franc is part of that, obviously. Cap Franc is part of a focus of many wineries. But the good news, it's Richard is not going to focus solely on Cap Franc like a lot of our new planting is going to happen in the Okanagan. But there's a good focus on Cap Franc. And this one, um, we had a lot of fun tasting it over the last year and a half. From absolute stunner in barrel, we knew that this wine's going to be incredible. We were so excited, Richard and I, like, from the very beginning. And after that, back in tank before bottling, where we were high fiving, it was so much anticipation. Bottle came out and tasted the first bottle and like, shit, what happened? The wine went in the phase, in the sleepy phase, where Richard absolutely lost his mind. He thought, like, oh man, something happened. And finally retasted that uh, maybe a month ago. And I was like, holy smokes, wow, okay, the wine is back. And we'll talk about it as well during the Zoom, that how the life cycle of a wine is kind of sometimes a roller coaster. Wine goes in sleepy phase, wine goes in weird phase, especially in the early stage. And Richard was telling me a story, and I told him to save that for the group. But uh, like back in the day, like maybe like 10 years ago, it happened with one of his Malbec, and he thought he lost the whole thing. And old school guy from the industry said not to panic, to wait 6 months, put everything away, forget about it. And he was like, "How do you want me to freaking forget? Half of my investment is in that tank." And and yes, obviously the wine came back where exactly where you wanted. But we have kind of that experience with that Cap Franc, and I wanted it to put it in that 3 packs because I wanted to tell the story, and that's gonna be fun. But this Cap Franc, that's BC Cap Franc. That is so BC Cap Franc.
Mm,
Right? Right? This is like you
really?
put that alongside anything 20 Mile Bench or Lincoln Lake Shore. Like it's so different. So different. This is so BC. I don't know how to this bulky. Yeah. Darker fruit, a little bit more toastiness, but not toasty like barrel, but like a little bit more. There's a difference. You can smell it and you can taste it between that BC Cab Franc and the Ontario, especially not, whoops, Niagara Cab Franc.
Hey, did you see Twyla and Richard are saying hi from Sun Peak? So I thought it was Big White. Sorry. Doing a dinner tonight there, then doing a winemaker's dinner at Big White on Sunday. Busy week for them. Have a great evening, everyone. Cheers. And you know what he said? He can confirm there is a 2025 Chenin Blanc coming out this spring. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if it's from the same property as it usually is. I guess he'll fill us in on that next Thursday
I
and give
mean,
us all
okay,
the
so
secrets.
like, okay, so sometimes you think you know more than dude. Like, okay, that's gonna be some good juice for some good conversation for next Thursday. Maybe we need to reserve more than an hour and a half for that private tasting next Thursday.
Yeah, and then Stacy and Jeff are staying at the same vineyard house that Jim and Tracy stayed at De Silva, and they said they highly recommend. And when they were there in September, I heard from Richard and Twyla. They're like, "Oh, Jeff and or sorry, Jim and Tracy are like, we put them to work in the vineyard." So they helped with harvest for the Pinot Noir. So now Stacy and Jeff are wondering what chores will be available for them to do, because these are all the types of things that we as wine lovers like dream of. It's something that Carl and I did once. We did a full harvest day at Black Market a few years ago, and it's like we still think of that day. It was so amazing. Obviously, because we don't do it every day for like 2 months at a time. I'm sure you'd get like back pain, or after a while you'd get sick of it. But because we don't normally do that, the one day of doing it, we were like, oh my God, this is heaven. This is amazing. Like, you just pick these grapes and they're so beautiful and they taste so good. And it was really special. So,
I have a tip for Stacy and Jeff. The best task for wine lovers when you walk with the when you go with the winemaker or the winery owner, you say, "Let's go taste your barrels." I'm sure your barrels need an assessment.
yeah,
So
someone who can
I
help
think
you.
we need to go taste the tank, okay? Because okay, Jeff, you probably know that by now, but at the Silva they have tank on on the main floor, right? When you're at the winery, underneath this thing, and those tanks are usually full with wine. So you say, Richard, can I help you assess your tank?
Yeah,
That's
just
a
make
tough
sure
job. That's a
they're doing what
very,
they need
very
to do.
tough job.
Right.
Tip
You
here,
could easily
okay?
charge for that, but you're probably not going to, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly, right? Hey, that Capra has an
They're
explosion
ready.
of white pepper. Oh my God, there's a ton of white pepper. And you're talking about a little bit of chocolate in the Pinot Noir. Oof, this is tenfold in the Pinot Noir in the Capra. I would say hedonistic in the sense that the wine is kind of ready to drink. And it's a 2022. I mean, through 4 years old now, and this wine is beautiful now. Super approachable, ton of blueberries, black forest cake, like I like in the Pinot in the Cap Franc, red pepper jelly, but ton of white pepper at the end. Really cool, really good. I love that. Um, we're gonna look at the score later on tonight in the next couple of days, but this is probably something I would say like 91, 91 plus, something like that. Like super approachable, great oak spice. I think the spice out of the 20 month in barrel, like just really enhance the finish at this stage. I love that. Fruits from Oliver. I believe it's probably from one of Richard's cousins' property down in the south of the Okanagan, but amazing Cap Franc. So this is, and I don't want to talk too much about it because we're going to spend an hour and a half or maybe more talking about Richard's, like these three bottles, also the 2019 vintage, and more and more. So we're gonna save some stuff for next Thursday. But I really wanted to just give you a little tease in the sense that the wines are fantastic, and we have more. I mean, if you like, I think we have 20 something people already booked. The some of most of the wines have left or are leaving tomorrow morning express. So that's going to be there in a couple of days or on Monday, depending on where you are. And but yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of fun. So this is something new that started in November with Keith Tires and Clausen Chase. The tasting Thursday, once a month. We're gonna do a private tasting on Zoom with members who order a 3 pack and some extra wine that we're going to talk about. And the extra for this one is the 2019 vintage. We have Cap Sauv, Merlot, and Cap Franc from 19 that we're going to talk about because I believe that 19 was a super sleeper vintage and it's really worth talking about it more. And Richard has some
Oh, yeah.
amazing stuff. Watch out in the next couple days. I will tease you a little bit with some pre-scores or some of my first um, observation and thought on the 2019 that we're going to reopen Mira and I in the next few days. So that's for the Silva segment.
I
Richard
love it. And
Twyla, hope you're having fun at Sun Peak, no, at Big White, I
yeah,
guess.
and
You
that's
guys
the
enjoyed
thing.
the
You know what?
slopes and recharge the battery because we have a big year in front of us, guys. We're gonna travel with you. You guys are coming with us in Burgundy, and there's a lot of Chardonnays and Pinot Noir conversation to have, and more and more and more. Now I want to hear more about 25 Chenin Blanc. That's for sure. So yeah, that's for the Silva
We'll
segment.
find out on Thursday. So I don't know why it's not showing up in the main feed, but Lisa is commenting that barrel tasting is such a privilege. I totally agree. Karen and Jan are celebrating Orthodox Christmas today. So Merry Christmas to all you on the old calendar. And I saw that they were making some. So she says they're having Pinot Noir. But Jan sent me a picture. They're making stuffed peppers, which is a very Romanian, very Eastern European kind of dish. So you guys have fun. That'll probably go really well with the Pinot Noir, actually. Lovely. And what else we got here? Yeah, Richard was saying that off to their dinner event now. So good stuff.
Awesome. What do you, Mira? What do you think of the three wines?
I love them. Normally I always go for the reds, but I am really coming back to the Chenin Blanc. This is probably one of my favorite whites in Canada. I love it.
You know what? Same here. I love both reds. They're super approachable, like and especially like the Cab Franc, super hedonistic. But that's Chenin Blanc. Holy smokes! Oh, I love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it.
So good. So
Mm.
good. It made me think of something like with Karen and Jan having their Christmas foods tonight and stuff. I'm like, we did something smart last year for the Advent calendar. We started the Advent on, no, we didn't. The year before. The year before, and that's how we got the idea for the wine Advent. So 2 years ago, we did the 12 Days of Christmas lives. So starting on the 26th, we went live every night for 12 days. And I like that because I love a lot of things about North America. But one thing I didn't love when we moved here, I was like, you guys act as if Christmas is over, like on Christmas Day. Whereas where I'm from in Eastern Europe, that's when it starts. And then you spend like 2 or 3 weeks like celebrating Christmas and eating and drinking and stuff. So I feel like we got to do more of that. It was a little abrupt this year. We even took our tree down on January 7th. Well, I guess that's when you take your tree down. But anyway.
mean, I thought it was pretty efficient. So yeah.
Wine lore stories suggesting Keith and Richard are brothers from another mother. This is very true. And we just had Keith Tyers do the winemaker Zoom with us 6 weeks ago. So it just made sense that next we do Richard, his brother from from a Portuguese mother, right? We keep the tree up until Orthodox New Year. Oh, when is Orthodox New Year? Isn't it in like September? I guess not. I don't know. What's that, Jeff?
It's like September 11th in the Ethiopian calendar.
In the Ethiopian calendar, the New Year is September 11th. Yeah. And so I guess that's probably not it, but that's great.
That's great. Awesome. Great to hear.
There you go. So what else do we got tonight, Carl Boucher? Do you want to see some pictures of some of the wicked club events we've done?
So what I wanted to do maybe, do you want to recap the top 10 wine of the year first and finish with the event?
I think so. So we tasted well over 2,000 wines last year. Some of them with many of you who are here. I mean, some of our tours, you taste 50, 60 wines just on a half day tour. So
yeah, and if you do a marathon, you taste another 100 wines in a weekend. And I mean, sometimes, like I remember one weekend last year, we tasted 250 wines in a weekend.
Crazy.
So
let's start. Quick recap. Top 3 value wines of 2025. Because a big myth is that in Canada, so many of the wines are overpriced. And my response to that, and pretty much every other time someone says, Canadian wines are not that great, I just say, I don't think you know where to look. So these top 3 value wines that we tasted last year, I think can rival anything else at their price point. And these are generally under $35, right? Right, Carl Boucher.
Oh, for sure. Like so the Celestial, my number 3 is the Celestial from Clos du Soleil. It's the $35 wine at 91 Point Carl's Wine Club. I put that wine specifically because it's such a crowd pleaser. Every time I took that wine somewhere, everyone around really, really enjoyed that wine. So that's why. But the 2020 Toss Cab Merlot was my number 2. And that's where more of a ballpark of the Ontario Niagara value wine around the $22 absolutely pinpoint. And then my absolute value of the year is the 2023 Vineland Estate Elevation St. Urban Riesling, the 23 vintage at 93 points, $20, $22.95. This is by far the best bang for your buck for a premium Riesling from one of the very top Riesling producer, Brian Schmidt at Vineland. Incredible wine. This wine, the 23, sold like a flash. but incredible wine for the price. That's my top value wine of 2025.
And they can be found in BC to have like top value wines under 30 bucks, but it is getting harder and harder. We've talked about the reasons for that. But yeah, if you are looking for Canadian wine with phenomenal value, probably the first place you want to look at is Niagara. Is that right?
Absolutely, 100%. I would say 9 out of 10 best value wine will come from Niagara. I would say from Ontario, there's some great option, especially at Mouchedre from the Lake Erie North Shore. Some $22 Cap Franc will absolutely blow your socks off. And you look at the price tag and like, what? I would have guessed like $30. Like these are $35 delivery for $22. You're like, holy shit, like this is a buy the case. Yes, obviously in BC, I think the term value has different parameters. I don't see that at $22 anymore. I would say,
especially not for reds. Not for
Esther Creek has their character reds at 20, 22.
There's some
but I mean,
Church. We found some
yes, but now it's 26 plus tax, so you're getting closer to 30, right? So,
definitely. Honorable mention. So these are the top 10. This is the creme de la creme. Like honestly, 93 points and up. That happens maybe like a couple times a month that we find a wine like that. Out of hundreds, you get a few that are 93 and up. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So like, and there's only 193 here, and is the number 5 honorable mention is Black Market Zotomir Merlot. For a reason that I put it there, I probably have other 94s kicking around, but I really wanted to highlight that wine because I believe that I probably underrated. But it's a Merlot from like half a kilometer away from Rob at Black Market, where he farmed that vineyard, and Rob is putting more and more energy of farming of producing different Merlots, and I think it is fantastic from that area. So really cool. I wanted to highlight that. Honorable mention number 5, it's Black Market Zotomir Merlot. Number 4, a big boy, a real big boy Riesling. It's Dobbin Estate, the white cap. At $65, 94 points, Carl's Wine Club. So this is Peter Gamble and Anne Sperling project at Dobbin. Their Riesling is really world class. We had the story of that white cap Riesling at the Pan Canadian, but Peter Gamble 7 different picks. So the details and the labors and everything
by
goes
that
into
we mean
that.
they pick the grapes 7 different times so they get the most specific kind of ripeness throughout the harvest season. So it's pretty sometimes berry by berry. It's pretty crazy.
I like that you're saying barbaric. I like that.
Especially the Rieslings are amazing. Honorable mention number 3 was Bottega Cab Franc. Now Bottega Wine Studio, they've opened a winery in the Similkameen now. They make our number 1 rosé for like 4 years in a row in the whole country, right? 7 Directions rosé. And this is a Cab Franc, so this is something a little new, but he has made some phenomenal reds over the years. And
yeah, there's a 2015 Merlot that he made under the Bottega. It's Daniel Bonterin. So, and when you find a very specific and an incredible block of grapes that he thinks that would make a stunning wine, he's going to buy a little batch and put that in new barrels for X amount of time. And that 2023 Cap Franc, we tasted it, Mira and I, in barrels, and we knew that it would be something special. And for the Cap Franc Marathon, Daniel, like that wine is not out yet. It's not going to be on the market for maybe another 8 months. But he said, taste that. Go ahead.
So funny story, because I mean, yes, it was amazing. And we had like 56 Cab Francs open when we tasted that during the live Cab Franc Marathon. And it was one of the top for everybody that was here. And so the funny story, which is unfortunate for Daryl that doesn't like Cab Franc, but does like Merlot. I'm pretty sure one of the first wines we tasted in Carl's Wine Club's journey was a Merlot from Daniel
But there
Bontrain,
you
isn't
go.
that right?
That's the
And
2015.
at the time, it was a 2015 Merlot, and at the time, this was 2020. We were like, this Merlot is okay. Like, it's big. It's all right.
I mean,
Right?
we tasted this the Merlot in the Viognier.
Yeah, and the Merlot, we were like, oh, it's a little out of balance. Like, it's really big. Oh my gosh. 3 years later, we retasted that Merlot, and it was outrageously good.
Plush and incredibly well
Oh,
balanced. I know.
I mean, Dylan knows. Dylan and Cavell, they went around to all the liquor stores in the whole of BC looking for that wine. Anyone that had like 3 bottles, they'd like drive across the province to go get them because it was so good. But you never know, like with these things. I mean, you kind of do, because we know that Daniel is a wizard winemaker.
Hey, in 2020, we didn't know how good it was. That's the thing, right?
We were just
We
starting.
didn't know how good it was.
Obsessed with quality. Like if you go to his winery, which I'll show you pictures in a second, I just found a whole bunch from when we were there with members, and you can tell why the wines are so good, because he is obsessed. Like he watches the temperature on each of his tanks like 20 times a day. Like he goes to the detail with his wines, and that's why his rosés are so good. Because rosé is actually, I mean, you can make a decent rosé pretty easily, but I think if you want outstanding world-class rosé, it's one of the hardest things to do. It's very specific. So anyway, that was number 3 of the honorable mentions. Then we got number 2, Stratus Riesling Ice Wine. You should have seen Carl's face when we tasted this. We don't normally put ice wine or dessert wines in the top 10. We don't actually taste a lot of them. Ironically, all we taste is Canadian wine, but we don't taste a bunch of ice wine at all. But this was something else, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was incredible, and we tasted that with Suzanne Jenke, the general manager at Stratus, when we were there in November. And yeah, I mean, out of the 15 Stratus wine that we tasted that day, this one was like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, what is that? It was just so cool and so good and so balanced and so fantastic. So yeah. And I look at you today, like we walked back in the car and I told you, right? I said, this is going to be in my top 10 wine of the year or on that yearly report because it's just too good. So yeah. And one of the wine that we took with us in Burgundy, on our scouting trip, one of the wines that we have open at the DRC wall is the Meyer Family Vineyard Micro Cuvée Chardonnay, 94 points, Carl's Wine Club. This wine is an absolute beauty. It's a beauty. I love that wine. And I wish that BC can produce more of that style of Chardonnay. Mineral, balance, great oak presence. There's everything in that. There's everything. I tasted some French people on that, and everyone who tasted that one was really impressed. And always a pleasure to crack open a.
They're like, it came from where?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
What? So yeah. All right. So top 10, number 10 out of all the thousands of Canadian wines we tasted in 2025 was the Solvero Pinot Noir 2022 from Garnet Valley in Summerland, BC. A totally newish wine region, isn't it?
Absolutely. So Summerland never been the big toy of the BC wine industry. It's more of the Golden Miles, Oliver, Naramata Bench, Okanagan Falls. But Summerland is coming up strong in the next few years. We've seen it. Lightning Rock is developing beautifully. Lunescence is taking a next step. Like the wines at Lunescence has never been as good, and they have more and more estate fruits wine. Solvero opened like 3 years ago now, and like skyrocketing, like absolutely shooting up into the stratosphere of the amazing producer of BC. So that 2022 Solvero, to my opinion, was the best of the 3 that Alison Moyes made. 94 points, Carl's Wine Club, and still very well priced at $40. So yeah. Not number 9, the 2018 Kern & Co. Foxcroft Vineyard Cap Franc. That was the top Cap Franc tasted in the Cap Franc Marathon, and I mean, I mentioned it multiple times over the last year that Cap Franc, my top. Love it at every aspect. 2018 is the current release, and my God, good job, Adam Kern. Well done. At number
Absolutely.
8, the the 2023, one of the highlight of the Advent calendar is the 2023 Maverick Bushvine Syrah. Probably the best priced top end Syrah of the Okanagan. And
Oh,
Maverick did it
nice.
again. Maverick did it again. This wine's gonna hit some new height in the next few years. This is a baby wine, but absolutely gonna skyrocket as one of the best Syrah ever produced in the Okanagan.
And this one's still available in our Advent wines. We didn't shut that one off. A lot of the other Advent wines are sold out, but this one, I think there might still be a few, maybe a case or
I'm not
something.
sure about that. They have to bring the rest of the collection back from Vancouver
Oh,
because
there
they
you go.
didn't
There
have
you
the
go.
wineries closed. They didn't have any. So I had the word from the winery today that there was the exact amount.
Oh, for the 2023?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Well, don't drive by then. Uh,
So
the Ferox Reserve 2 Chardonnay. This is another one that's coming with us to Burgundy with members in June. So excited.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
and it's our number 7 wine of 2025.
94 plus points. This wine is a beautiful old world reflection of Chardonnay and some of the best things that Niagara on the Lake can do. Fabian Rice, Stephanie Rice at Fair Rocks. I can't wait to travel with them. But this Chardonnay was an like it was so clean, so pure when I tasted that. And yeah, I mean, beautiful. The Reserve 2, it's the second bottling of that very 21st. And 2021 was a hard sell because beautiful growing season, but they got hit badly by rain at the harvest. But this was already picked when everything happened. So that is a quality almost of 2020 without the extreme heat. So really bad, really awesome wine. Beautiful. So tip to the hat to Fabian Rice and his team. And number 6, another Chardonnay. That's the leading post, Saint Chuck Vineyard. 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row for leading post on our top 10. This time that was the all star of the Pan Canadian. That leading post was served alongside of the Garnet Valley Chardonnay and alongside a Prince Edward County at Trail Estate. And I mean, Ilya does magic with Chardonnay, especially from his own vineyard. I bet that if you're a member of Carl's Wine Club for a long time, you've tasted Ilya's Chardonnay. They may become from Grimsby Hillside or from other vineyards from Niagara, but he's one of the best. So this one, 2021, 94 plus points, number 6 on our list. At number 5, one of my top surprise wine of the year was the Tightrope Equipoise, 40% Syrah, 20% Cap Franc, 20% Merlot, from Tightrope Winery on the Naramata Bench. Uh, yeah, I mean, this was among. I remember when we tasted that one the very first time. It was on our Red Blend Marathon, and this wine finished in the top 5 among wines 4 times its price. Its price. I mean, that was with Oculus, with Nobrezza, with Ice Cellar, like all of the most expensive wine, and you had Equipoise at 45 bucks. So we retasted it this year for our feature, and yes, again, I mean, I was so pleased. So $57, including tax, 94 plus points. This is a Graham O'Rourke and Lindsay O'Rourke at Tightrope at number 5. Number 4, tasted just a month ago, South Clove from Clausen Chase, the 2023 vintage. It might be the best wine that Keith Tyers has ever made. And Keith has made a lot of incredible wines. might be this is very best to date. I mean, and I live it that way. Some of our members had the chance to pre-purchase that wine after our tasting Thursday of November, and I don't know if you had the chance to taste it. Let me know. But I want, like, this absolutely blew my socks off. It's at number four. Number three, entering the top three now. The number three, it's the current release 2015 Fairview Cellar Iconoclast Cabernet Sauvignon from Oliver. Fairview Cellar from a OG of the Okanagan um, in Oliver. I mean, this it's the living proof that Cabernet Sauvignon can strive in the Okanagan. One of the very best Cab Sauv that I've ever tasted from Canada, if not. I mean, there was 195 points that I put a couple years ago from Painted Rock. One of the Cap Sauv made my top 10, but this and that Fairview Cellar, I mean, some of like very top Cap Sauv, and 2015 was a textbook pinpoint, one of the best vintage in the Okanagan. So, and here you go, here you got
Good.
it here. And if you ever want this, can be available. Let us know. 2020 at number two, the runner-up. It's Batchelder. I mean, Thomas has a wine in the top 10 every single year since we discovered him. And Wismer Foxcroft Parcel Nord has been my personal favorite Chardonnay on a yearly basis. There's something that Wismer Foxcroft brings in the equation that I absolutely adore. And 96 points for that wine. Thomas crushed it again for the 2023. And our number one wine of 2025 was a
Ba-ba-da-da.
stunner, a wine that I tasted by mistake one night sitting on the patio.
Thinking
And
it's the 2018, but it was the 2008. So happy mistake. And it was spectacular.
sorry, just refreshing my mouth with Chenin Blanc here. But yeah, no, this 2008 Benjamin Bridge, we've been seeing it for 2 3 years. They probably produce the best sparkling in Canada. And more I taste what they do, more convinced I am that it's not even close, to be honest with you. There's in the stratosphere of the absolute best sparkling producer in Canada, there's Benjamin Bridge and there's the others. And that's no offense to Benoit Gauthier at Noble Ridge, who produced an incredible the one reserve and like some a great portfolio. Benoit is an amazing sparkling producer. But to my opinion, there's Jean-Benoit Delaurier, there's Benjamin Bridge, and there's the rest. That's my opinion. And I tasted many of Benjamin Bridge small batch wine. And there's a reason why that they have their wines in some of the best table three Michelin star in Europe. And because this is blind taste that '08 among big top champagne. And I mean, I am not even worried that this wine will absolutely represent Canada in the best perfect way. So that's our very top wine of the year of 2023 of 2025. So yeah.
Yeah. Cheers. Well, that's amazing. And you know what is better? The only thing better, I think, than all these amazing wines is when you get to share them with other wine lovers that love wine and they're fun to be around. And that's what we get to do at our events. We're calling them experiences now because we're like, are we doing a wine tour? No, we're
Nope.
not.
Nope.
No, they're not.
No.
They're not wine tours. They're not like, oh, you go and you taste a bunch of wines at like 5 wineries in a day.
I think we've been pretty categoric with that for a while, Mira, that we're not doing wine tour. And I think
We don't
people
do
who
wine.
traveled with us, who enjoyed these experiences with us, understand and will be the first one to tell new prospect that these are not wine tours. These are experiences.
I think so too. I think, yeah, when we first started, like if I didn't know how to describe it, but I mean, yeah, you don't, mm, yeah, we don't tour like you've ever been on a wine tour before. Like the closest thing we had is Dana was saying there was a guy that used to tour people in the Okanagan, and he kind of did like black tie, fancy car, and would take people around to the best wineries where they would get like sort of a behind the scenes treatment. But that still is nothing like what we're doing. And if
That was
you've been
Jimmy the
in
driver,
some of
and
our,
Jimmy had some good connections. I mean,
yeah,
Jimmy knew some of the managers, and he knew who was who. But
and
Jimmy
some of the
didn't
special
taste
tours that you get.
2,000 wines a year.
That's the
Jimmy
thing.
didn't
Jimmy the
have
driver.
like didn't consult for privately for wineries for years. Like Jimmy didn't have that deep knowledge that we have, and I mean that's why it makes such a big difference when we call Richard and say, "Hey, Richard, we're going to bring a group of 12. Can we do something special?" And the answer is always the same. Absolutely. Same thing when we go like we do something with Rob, right? Hey, we're bringing a group. Can we do something special? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we always
So
find a, different concept, a different little twist of what we do. So yeah.
totally. And if you've been on our wine touring days before, like you've been to the one where we went in the vineyards with the legendary Thomas Batchelder and actually tasted his wines in the vineyard. So you got to see like few rows down what the difference in terroir does to the actual wine while you're standing there next to the grapevines. Pretty crazy.
Or Mira with Brian Schmidt, right? Tasting
Yes.
like the two clones side by side and tasting the Cars Wine Club wine in the middle, right? I mean, these are
That
like
was
right there,
epic,
right?
right?
Right there.
Here, yeah. So what I want to say is if you've been on those tours, that's what we're talking about, but even kicking it up a notch further, aren't we? Because now we're finally really truly bringing in the food side. We have a chef here in the Okanagan that we're working with. We tried it out at the last group experience that we did, let's say, with members last September, where he took on that dinner. We're gonna fine tune that. We're gonna make it even better. And so, anyone that's coming out to the Okanagan in August or September this year, and you love wine, and you want to get an epic wine touring day in, that's what these experiences are for. We're calling them signature experiences because if you go on like the Similkameen or the Naramata Bench or the South Okanagan signature experience with us, you are going to get what that region is best known for, but you're gonna experience it, right? So
And
you're
again,
not
hey, Mira,
going to the Naramata Bench and tasting a bunch of wines and not realizing that Naramata Bench is world class at Merlot, for example. A lot of people go to the Naramata Bench and they don't taste one Merlot and they miss it, right? Because they don't know. Nobody's told them. You can't Google this stuff. You have to be someone like us who goes there every week and tastes a bunch of wines and figures this out for you, right? So that's what we're talking about.
oh, and I think that's exactly it. And we don't spend our days in the bus or on the road. Like what we've chosen, it's like wineries who are close to each other. We don't overload the day because we know that winemakers and winery owner take so much extra time with our people that like those visits are not an hour, it's an hour, it's 2 hours. And because they want to show more, they want to tell us more. So I mean it's always end up by, and so we don't race against time. So it's 1 in the morning, an amazing lunch, 2 in the afternoon, and we just had the private chef dinner after. So that makes it for a fantastic experience for
And you
sure.
don't have to drive. We come get you right from your hotel or wherever you're staying. Oh, this is just our random pictures here. No, that's not what you want. But what you do want, if you are curious about this, you're seeing all my junk here with the computer. So go head on over to our website. It's called Signature Experiences. There's virtual ones too. So if you want to spend a couple hours with us, 1 or 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon in the next month or so, it's cold and wintry anyway. Might as well open some Canadian wine and learn about Canadian wine. You can do that. you can also check out the dates here for our different tours. So we got Naramata Bench August 1st. We got Similkameen August 15th. We've got South Okanagan on September 5th. And Okanagan Falls Skaha Bench September 19th. These are bucket list experiences. Like we're talking like have lunch in a vineyard at a long table, have dinner by the lake, and then taste wines with winemakers in vineyards, in barrel rooms. It's pretty epic. And I don't think there's any better way right now in Canada to learn about Canadian wine than that kind of experience. And then we are doing the insider guides, which are virtual. We're doing Insider Guide to Canada's wines from coast to coast. There's no other way to get that kind of insider info right now. Like ChatGPT is not going to cut it. This is a new, unexplored, relatively new wine region in the world, and we're honored, but also grateful and happy to be the people that have tasted probably more Canadian wines in the last few years than anyone else. So that's what Carl's here for. I'm here to be the person that asks the silly questions because I don't know that much about wine actually. But you'll feel right at home and you're going to learn a lot, but it's going to be also really fun. So we've got these insider
and we
guides.
also talk more than like we did with our BC Insider Guide, right? We talk about our favorite. We talk about it from the inside. It's from what we've experienced. We suggest the restaurant that we know, that we like, that we send our people. We talk about like the perfect itinerary because you know what? Because we've done it so many times, right? So, I think that's what makes it a little bit more efficient, I would say.
Effective. Absolutely.
Effective,
And one last
thank
thing
you.
I'll show you, okay? Because I don't know if it's a secret. I don't want to, call you out on this, but Dana's coming to Burgundy, which is very exciting. Some other people on this live are coming to Burgundy in June. We're so excited. Every day we get up at like 3 a.m. so we can talk to some of these people down in Burgundy because the time difference is pretty big, right? So we've got our Paris hotel all lined up for you guys. And what I wanted to say is there's actually only one more couple spot left. We might not even fill it. We don't have to. But if you're like, I have been hearing about this Burgundy trip. I've always wanted to go to Burgundy. We could fit one more couple or 2 singles in on our trip. And this, again, is not a typical wine trip. This is an experience, a bucket list thing, curated to the nines. Like you're not gonna end up at just like the the tourist traps, right, Carl?
Oh no, and it's not like if we're gonna like overload your days because you're going from one place to another on the bus trip, and like no, this is not what it is. This is the cream of the crop, and yeah, I can't wait. I mean, the people that we've talked to so far, it's so exciting. And we've had some people asking us about the Rhone Valley, about Tuscany. So we're started to put some phone call also in Avignon and Montpellier and also starting to look at Brunello di Montalcino and Bulgari and some of the stuff with different dates. But yeah, Carl's Wine Club is taking a pretty cool direction, I would say.
Absolutely. And yes, Dana, Scott, I'm assuming is there with you. We should have mentioned that. She's bringing Scott too. That's good. We can't wait. And Carl joked, but I think it was real, that he's going to wear an Oilers hat, even though he's a Flames
damn
fan.
it.
So we won't let him forget that part. We do need to bring, or maybe you can bring the Oilers
I
hat.
didn't call Scott because I'm a good player. I don't do that. But the night of our conversation, I say, if you guys come to Burgundy, I'm going to wear an Oilers hat. The Flames beat the Oilers. But I could have easily texted him or do it, but I don't do that kind of thing because...
you take the high road.
That's it, right? I never said a jersey, Dina. No way. That's not what I said. I said a hat. And I will. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now I like
All right, all
It's
right.
bullying. That's bullying.
No. All right. Well, we're gonna have a ton of fun. We are having so much fun just planning it, and we're just so excited. So, if you've ever felt like Burgundy called you to visit, it is like, or if you went and maybe you didn't get to see as much as you wanted to see, it is like everything I imagined, but times 10. It's just so amazing. If you're a food and wine lover and you don't go to Burgundy at least once in your life, you've missed out. And we're excited to share it with those of you that can come this time. But we are planning more of these trips. So yes, we will send an email in the next week or so. We'd love to hear your feedback on that. We're going to have a vote going on where we should go next as a club. And this is the kicker, Carl, that we haven't even mentioned. The kicker is that we're bringing our favorite Canadian wines
Exactly
to that region
and
winemakers.
That's it, right? That's the part where the other wine trip don't do that, right? So we're bringing two of our best winemakers with us with their Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs, and we're going to go taste along with the French winemakers. And for me, it's at the chateau, having our chef there, and we're going to do our themed dinners at night. Where we're gonna bring our wine at the table as well, alongside of the Burgundian wine. That's gonna be absolutely epic. I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of Epoisse cheese consumed there during the 6 days in Burgundy. I can tell you a lot of saucisson, a lot of of delicacy. I mean, I can't. Yeah, that's it exactly. Go back because that dry sausage, like that was on the
You
escargot,
still
right?
think about it, don't you? You still think
Yeah.
about it. I know.
That one, but not the one at the front. No, go back, go back, go back, go
I
back.
don't have a picture of the melted Epoisse cheese with the eggs poached in it. Oh,
No, but
it's
go
gone.
back.
Anyway,
Two pictures. Gee, this one on the back, though, not the front one, the dark orange, but the yellow one. That
Oh,
was
it's
the
the
one that's probably the
stinkiest.
that was
So
incredible, and that
stinky.
dry sausage. Anyway, that was in Bligny, Bligny les Bones, the little cottage that we had in the vineyard. Yeah. Anyway,
Yes, you're right, Stacy and Jeff. So you guys had a bit of a whiff of that stinky cheese, but it's much fresher and crazier in France. I mean, but you did get
the idea.
the general idea. That cheese stunk up our car for 2 days.
Oh,
Jeez.
not only that, I'm sure we stored that cheese at the rental house we had.
Yeah, when we left, they were
In
probably like,
In
"What happened?
Pelham, and I'm sure the owner
Did a
had
mouse die
to
here?" Like,
change the fridge or something. But yeah. Anyway, so
there you
I mean, we rambled for long enough, I think.
Well, thanks for staying on, you guys. That's brilliant. And, I was like, we need some better, newer prizes. If you guys have ideas for our next tasting marathon or what have you. So I ran into this at Fairview Cellars. What if we had one of those with the Carl's Wine Club 5-year logo on it? They're crib boards. I don't know how to play crib, though. That's the problem. But I guess we'll learn. Anything with wine, right?
I'll teach you. No, that doesn't have to be with wine, Mira. That's something that my mom taught me. I was 5, but we can include wine, I guess. I mean,
I'll be a much better crib player, I bet.
I
It'll be
sure
more
you
fun.
would. I sure we would.
With wine.
And a board of cheese, the crib board. Yes, yes.
There you go.
Well, that sounds good. So I appreciate you all. This is the Silva winemaker selection for next Thursday. All of the 3-packs or 6-pack, depending. And some people also ask for the mini horizontal of 2019. So some have 3 in 2019 and the three winemaker pack on the way. And now we're going to talk about all of it next Thursday with Richard De Silva. And
so even if you didn't get the wines, you can stop by. I'll be sending that link to all members, and you can stop by. It's kind of fun because it's Zoom. which we haven't done much of since like the pandemic, but we've forgotten that that's actually pretty fun because you can unmute yourself, you can ask questions. It's a little more intimate and fun. So we're going to be doing that next. And we do, I think we did record the last one, but only for the people that are there. So people let loose a little more swearing, I think than there is on these public ones. So there you go. Yes, Dana, across the country, we got a weather break. Finally, it was epic cold there for a while. So anyway,
well, I'm not sure about the break all along, but I mean, I know that a bunch of
we're
cold.
overnighting pretty much everything.
Oh yeah, for this one, yes, for this one. Trying to manage.
Exactly. You do photo ops. If you come visit us, Stacy and Jeff, you're right. They did a good one upstairs where you are. Love it. All right. Well, it's great to see you guys. Thanks so much.
Canadian wine lovers, Cars Wine Club members, everyone across the country. See you next week.
Cheers.